Yo, what up everybody? Amir Rahimi here, owner of Rappin' and Snackin', another episode of Collector's Corner. Let's get into it. First pickup, I'm going to show a record that I picked up from Amazon. This is $35. 36 Mafia's Mystic Styles, their official debut studio release album. This one was actually pressed on vinyl later on, because in '95 when they dropped it, they didn't drop the vinyl, at least not to my knowledge. So this was dropped, I believe, in 2015 as the back states, and it is pressed on red vinyl. I heard this album because I've been telling y'all I've been on the 36 Mafia journey for really like the past year, just getting in all their stuff, listening to all of it in order, and etc., etc., etc. This I'd actually heard probably closer to 5 years ago, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I know this album in particular has like a cult following with it. A lot of people deem it to be, if not their best, one of their best works. And definitely after listening to more and more and more of their stuff, this is at the bottom of the totem pole for me. It's just, I think their production just got so much better, but this definitely, and their rapping as well, but this definitely has like a more independent, horrorcore vibe as compared to some of the later stuff that we hear. But still a good album nonetheless. So I was happy to pick this one up from Amazon. $35. Boom. And my last video, I don't think any 36 Mafia in it because I just picked up 3 bundles and none of which had any 36 Mafia related stuff. So that was interesting. Next up, this one I picked up from the Record Jungle's website. This was $45 in shipping, so it came out to like $50. This is a sealed When the Smoke Clears album on cassette tape by 36 Mafia. This is actually a pretty good price, especially for sealed. It's super clean. There's no cracks. There's no nothing. But it is sealed. Amazing album. This might be, well, as of now, this is my favorite 36 Mafia album. I haven't listened to them all, but the Unbreakables, or Choices, is next to me, and then the Unbreakables for 36 Mafia. So we'll see, but this one is just freaking fantastic. I was happy to pick this one up for $50 shipped. Next up, let's go. This was actually a pretty cool pickup. So this was on eBay. This is a promo sticker from KD, and here you go right here. And it's the Thought I Saw a Pussycat promo sticker with, it's funny because they spell coming, C-U-M-M-I-N-G, coming soon, and his logo has the sperm cell, or the sperm in it right here, just shooting through the letters. And then on the back here, it has, it's like a postcard, the new album, Ass, Gas, or Cash, No One Rise for Free, and from Lynch Mob Records. So KD, if you haven't heard this album, it's actually a pretty underrated album, Ass, Gas, or Cash. I would definitely go ahead and listen to it, maybe pick up a copy if you can. I'm not sure how much the CDs are. I know the records are expensive because they were the promo and they had like the multicolor. I think it was yellow and green. I have a copy, I just don't remember the colors off the top of my head. But the CD, I don't know how much it goes for, but definitely check that out if you haven't yet. This was awesome. This is a promo beanie from Project Pat. As you can see here, it's got his lettering, his font. It's got Loud Records on the back. This actually, someone had messaged me on Instagram and he had one for sale and he knew that I was just on the 3-6 train. And he just knew that, he figured that I would want this or, would be interested in purchasing it. So he hit me with an offer of $100 and then I said that's too much money. So I just offered him $60 and he took it. So I got this for $60 shipped. I haven't seen this online actually, so this was really awesome to pick up. A super dope Project Pat beanie, pretty clean, it's obviously been worn, you can tell, but it's just super awesome. Project Pat, man, definitely becoming one of my favorite rappers that I've ever heard. He's just so incredible. Shout out to the dude from IG, name's escaping me, but that was $60 shipped. Next up, we're going to get into a couple bundles, 2 bundles that I picked up from Discogs. First bundle I'm going to get into, it is all CDs, and let's go ahead and we'll just get started off with the first one I see here. This is 36 Mafia, The End. I actually had this CD before, but it was one of those like random pressings, and for this one, for whatever reason, I just wanted to have the original pressing, so I finally found this original press, And this is just a very, very good album. And this is kind of like last year what started me to go on the whole 3-6 Mafia journey again. And this album is really good, and it gets better, with Chapter 2 in particular. But that track, and I'll probably do a review of these albums later on, but just to kind of touch up on this for anyone who's watching this video and hasn't heard this song, go ahead and listen to the song Body Parts. They have a few of them, so make sure you listen to Body Parts, the first one from The End album by 3-6 Mafia. It's one of the best posse cuts I've ever heard. The beat is incredible. So many amazing verses, but in particular the way Gangsta Black comes in on the song and the bass is super pronounced when he comes in the song is something exceptional. The production by Paul and Juice are something out of this world on that song and on this album too, and you see them get better and better as the years go on. But that song, Body Parts, is a masterpiece, and I know the 3-6 Mafia fans who are in the comments section are going to agree with that, and that's a fact. So, also their liner notes on here are always so hilarious. I'm not going to get too into it, like I said, I'll probably review this, but if you have a CD, go ahead and refresh your memory and read the liner notes with the artists' kind of like profiles. It's so funny. But I picked that one up. Oh, and also this whole bundle right here I got for $65 shipped. So that's part one, or the first disc I got from there. Next up, this is an album I haven't heard yet, but I'm very excited to hear it, and I finally got it. This is the South Central Cartel presents Murder Squad Nationwide album. Boom. A lot of great names on here. I'm not sure the entire history of this album yet, but I do know there's like Spice One on here, Ice-T on here, obviously South Central Cartel, and other names as well. So I haven't heard this. I've heard a couple songs over the years, but I'm very excited to pop this one in and listen to it. So boom. That was also part of the bundle. Another part of the bundle, we're going to get into some CD singles, I think, for the rest of the way. This is Naughty by Nature's amazing single called It's On off their 1993 album. This also actually has some remixes. So it's got the It's On KG remix, who's from the group, a Beatnuts remix of It's On, and then a Pete Rock Hip Hop Hooray remix. All pretty dope. I still prefer the originals of all the songs. Usually, if there's remixes or originals, I'd say 80 to 90% of the time I'm rolling with the original. It's just, I don't know if it's because I heard it first or because it's just better, but usually that's what I'm going to. But dope, classic album, 1993. Next up, we got one of my least favorite songs from the album, Walking with a Panther, but it's still LL Cool J. I have to pick it up. This is One Shot at Love, and this is also just a dope cover. You can't see it here, but I know on the vinyl pressing, he's riding like a little skateboard, and you can kind of see him, you can see him kind of balancing himself out a little bit. But LL Cool J, one of the greatest, also Walking with a Panther, super dope album. Boom, pick that one up. Another CD single, we got Daz Effects, They Want Effects remix, and also the track Dead Serious. This came with no cover, just how it comes. And then on the back, we got, just the back art. And, this is just such a good album in general, Dead Serious, that if you haven't heard it, go ahead, do yourself a favor and listen to it. And it's a great one, man. Daz Effects, big shout out. Next up, we got Digital Underground, The Return of the Crazy One. This one, what is on? Okay, so it's got Return of the Crazy One. It's got Carry the Way a Long Time. And it's got a couple remixes on here too. Very interesting, artwork and stuff to read on the back too. So if you don't have it, that would be something to look up and just look at the photos. Digital Underground, underrated group. And next up, this one I haven't heard yet. This is Tongue Twista. So Twista, before he just shortened his name to Twista as Tongue Twista. And this is the track No Peace Sign. And it's got the Cut to Pieces remix as well as the album version. And like I said in my previous video, I'm still looking for his Running Off at the Mouth album. So boom, this is CD single, and I'll pop that one in eventually. When I get the album, I'll listen to it as a whole and see if that remix is any good. Next up, we got another bundle, and this bundle was also from Discogs, and I'd gotten this for... this one was $50 shipped. And this was a really good deal, in my opinion, or a pretty good deal. Also, before I go on, my homie got me this Boys in the Hood hoodie, and big shout out to him. My friend Rob also goes by OG Young Rob. Blessed me with this hoodie, so I appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get into the rest of the pickups. So this is all, like I said, from a Discog seller for 50 shipped. And first off, actually, is KD's Thought I Saw Pussycat CD single, and this has no cover on it, but it's got a back cover art. And it's also got the song Make the Music. Like I said, pretty good album, man. Go ahead and listen to this album if you haven't heard it. You'd be surprised. You're definitely going to like it. KD is one of those rappers, you know, from Lynch Mob Records, and who's worked with Ice Cube even from the CIA days, if you guys remember that. Make sure to check this out if you haven't yet. Next up, we got Common's Finding Forever album. This one I also picked up because I already have the album, but I made sure to pick it up because this particular album has also a DVD, and it's got the exclusive behind-the-scenes interview. So you see first disc, second disc, boom, right there. And it's also funny, like, if you look at some of your albums from the mid-2000s, you get these inserts with the text tones, the ringtones, you know, text this to get this ringtone, etc. And this is like an era that a lot of people disliked, the ringtone era, but it's so funny to go back and see these inserts and to see, you know, I personally never purchased one. I always did like the custom do-it-myself with my AT&T Nokia phone back in the day, but it's funny, you know, ringtones are super popular back in the day, man. So, pick that one up. And yeah, this was actually, I believe, a US pressing. It wasn't like a UK, but it came with the DVD and CD. Next up, we got AZ's Sugar Hill with the B-side, Rather Unique. There's a couple different covers to this, or there's this and another cover, at least I have them. And I'll probably put the other one on the screen right here, or whatever the hell. So, a lot of people consider Do or Die a classic album. It's a really good album. I don't know if I'd go ahead and give it the classic status, for reasons that I may say in another video if I ever intend to review it, but I really do enjoy the track Sugar Hill. So AZ, dope artist, boom boom, pick that one up. Next up are records from that same bundle. So, first up, whew! Now this is just a track that gets you amped. This is just, when you talk about from the beginning of the Crazy and the Last Days album by the Tear the Club Up Thugs, the subgroup of 3-6 Mafia, and you get from the Last Days intro and it goes right into the song Hula Crunkist. That's an amazing transition, an amazing song, one that gets you pumped up. And Hula Crunkist, also on the B-side, Hypnotize Cash Money. Talk about two amazing songs back to back on the single, because Hypnotize Cash Money came on the tail end of the album or something like that, if I recall. But anyways, this is still sealed. I was stoked to pick this picture cover up. Amazing song, man. This is just so good. So good. Next up, I got the Beat Rhymes and Life album by A Tribe Called Quest. Picked this up, also part of that same bundle. I have mixed feelings about this album. I do like it, but it's definitely not on par with their first three albums. It's still solid, though, but I was happy to finally add this to my collection. It's got the hype sticker still right there on it. Boom, boom. Pretty good condition as well. Next up, here's an artist who I've heard a few times on feature tracks, primarily King T tracks, but I do not have his album yet, and this is MC Breeze. This is the single Great Big Freak. So I am looking for his album at the moment. Can't wait till I get it, and hopefully there's some dope features on there as well. I'd assume King T, but who knows who else would be on here. So shout out to Breeze, excited to peep these ones out. Next up we got Ed O.G. and Master Ace. Boom. This is actually also an album that I don't have. So this is the single Make Some Noise, and I don't have the album yet. And I picked up the single in the meantime, so I need to pick up the album. And Ed O.G.'s dope. Master Ace is actually one of my favorite rappers ever, so the fact that I don't have the CD yet is interesting. But I will pick it up, that's for sure. Dope. Next up, this is one of the artists that not a lot of people talk about, and I think it's because he just doesn't have too much material out there, but J.O. Fellaini. His first album in particular is just really, really, really good. Take a Ride. And this song is Hotter Than Fish Grease. And yeah, this is a good song, or a good single that I believe it didn't make it to an album. I believe this album was shelved, or just never came out. And Hotter Than Fish Grease, however, is a dope song. Here's the single right here, and on the B-side it's got Swing. So pick that one up too. And then lastly, another artist that was associated with Ice Cube, such as KD, is an artist named Threat, who's also dope. This is from his debut album, and this song, I just love the track names on his album. And this is Shut Your Punk Ass Up. It's got a pretty dope sticker right here. It's got like a helicopter going over this guy, who's obviously on his knees, And basically it's also kind of showing like the shine lights, the spotlights on the guy, if you can see, with the A in his name. And yeah, man, I mean, Threat, pretty dope artist. You gotta check this one out. And it's also got the remix on here. And yeah. Now, Threat is awesome. Make sure to check out his debut album too. But anyways, these are my pickups, man. There's some really dope ones in here. I'm in particularly, probably with this one, most happy with this Project Pat beanie that I picked up from the random dude on IG. I really was stoked with this cassette tape from 3 6 Mafia that I picked up sealed, and honestly all these were just a dope come up. But anyways, go ahead and let me know your favorites from the video, and let me know some of your feedback on some of these songs I've been talking about, some of these albums, because there's just some amazing material that I'm covering, and just going ahead, looking at it, and just describing it very briefly is really making me want to pump out like an album review. So after knowing these, I'm probably going to need to pump out some album reviews, because I'm like itching for one now, because especially listening to the 3 6 Mafia stuff and the other stuff that I'm just looking at, I think I'm due for one. But anyways, go ahead, drop a comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think, and let me know your favorite pickups. I appreciate it. Peace.